Hello, my Biblio darlings, and welcome. It's so good to see you. The story that we're going to be reading today is called Mr. Bump. Oh, and I forgot to introduce myself. In case we haven't met before, my name is Mally, and it's so good to see you again. Now, before we read Mr. Bump, let's remind our body that we're safe right here and right now. And how are we going to do it? We're going to remind our body by two ways. The first one is we're going to do what's known as a 4-4-8 deep breathing exercise. And what that means is we're going to inhale for 4 counts, then we're going to hold the breath for 4 counts, then we're going to exhale out for 8 counts like we're blowing out birthday candles. And then the second way is I'm going to tell you some jokes. And you might be asking, why jokes? Well, jokes because when we laugh, we naturally relax. So with that, join me in doing that deep breathing exercise. So pretend you have a balloon inside your tummy, a pretend balloon, and inhale deeply and make that balloon bigger for 1, 2, 3, 4. And now hold the breath for And now exhale out for 8. Good job. So the deep breathing is a wonderful way of reminding your body that you're safe right here and right now. And another way is by jokes. So are you ready? Okay. Knock, knock. Who's there? Thumb. Thumb who? Thumb like it hot and thumb like it cold. That's so great. Some like it hot, some like it hot. Oh, that's so great, and some like it cold. Okay, here's the next one. Knock, knock. Who's there? Defense. Defense who? Defense has a hole in it. That's how your dog, Mindy, escaped. Oh, defense? The fence has a hole in it. Okay. Knock, knock. Who's there? Tuna. Tuna who? Tuna piano, and it will sound a lot better. Get it? Tuna piano. Oh, that is so good. Oh man, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling more relaxed. So with that, let's read today's story. It's called Mr. Bump. And in looking at Mr. Bump, he is covered in blue, and it looks like he has a bandage on the top of his head. It's wrapped all around, but he can still see out with his eyes. And it looks like the middle part of his body is also wrapped in bandages. So I wonder if Mr. Bump bumps into things a lot and gets hurt. Let's see. This is the sad story of Mr. Bump. Oh no. The trouble was that Mr. Bump just could not help having little accidents. If there was something for Mr. Bump to bump into, he'd bump into it all right. For instance, if you were to see Mr. Bump out walking down a street in your town, and if there happened to be something to bump into down the street, then you know what would happen, don't you? There what I see, not there looks, but there I see. Mr. Bump, he's got a smile on his face, and he's walking on yellow pavement, and it looks like there's a green post to his side. Oh no, Bump! Mr. Bump, I think hit the post, the green post, and he's now on the ground. And it looks like he's in pain because his eyes are closed and he's doing that kind of look. Oh, I feel bad for Mr. Bump. Wouldn't you know it, Mr. Bump was just the same at home. He lived in an extremely nice home. But even there, he couldn't help having those little accidents. Oh no, I feel bad for Mr. Bump. For instance, one morning when Mr. Bump went outside his house, he noticed that the chimney pot had come loose in a storm the night before. Well, the chimney pot is the top thing on the chimney, up on the roof of the house. Mr. Bump said, "I must fix that before it falls off," thought Mr. Bump to himself, and he hurried to his garden shed to fetch a ladder. It was a lovely long ladder. Mr. Bump walked up the garden path with the ladder on his shoulder. He turned the corner of the garden path. Crash went the living room window. Look! The ladder went through the window, and the window is now cracked. Oh dear, thought Mr. Bump, and he turned to see what had happened. Crash went the kitchen window behind him. Not a second window. Oh dear, thought Mr. Bump again, and he rested the ladder against the wall of the house so that he could climb up on the roof to fix the chimney. Crash went the bedroom window. That's 1, 2, 3 windows got crashed. Oh my. So you can see how Mr. Bump had his little accidents. Mr. Bump had had many jobs, but somehow they never seemed to last very long. As soon as anything got lost or broken or splintered or chipped or snapped or cracked or torn or burst or wrenched or crunched or split or slit, Mr. Bump got the blame. Oh, and look at Mr. Bump. He has what looks like a broom handle in one hand and the broom bristles in the other. Poor Mr. Bump. For instance, when Mr. Bump worked on a farm, he tripped over the farm dog and spilled the milk which he was carrying for the farmer's wife, and which the farm cat lapped up. Oh. So to lap up means to drink up, to lap up. But take a look at Mr. Bump. He's fallen down. The milk is on the ground. The milk jug. He's not having a good time. Another for instance, when Mr. Bump was a bus driver, he fell off the bus and couldn't catch up with it again, and all the passengers traveled without having to pay. Well, not to mention, maybe, who was driving the bus? I hope everyone's okay. For instance, when Mr. Bump was a carpenter, he found that when he was hammering nails, he hammered his thumb most of the time and the nail hardly at all. Oh, poor Mr. Bump. He's got a band-aid on his thumb, and the nail is curved upwards. Oh, poor Mr. Bump. Oh. In order to recover from the series of rather unfortunate happenings, Mr. Bump decided to take a vacation. There he could think about what sort of job he could do where he wouldn't be such a nuisance to everybody. So off he set to the station to catch a train to the seaside. Oh, it's always relaxing going to the seaside. While Mr. Bump was on vacation, several things happened. For instance, he fell off a boat into the sea, and the lifeboat had to come and rescue him. Oh, look, there's Mr. Bump, and he's falling off the boat. Oh my. For instance, one day when he was quietly walking along the beach, minding his own business, he got his foot stuck in a bucket, and as he couldn't get it off, he had to walk around with it on his foot for hours. Could you imagine walking around with a bucket all the time? Oh my goodness, Mr. Bump is very accident prone. For instance, another time when he was walking along the beach, he walked straight into a large hole that someone had dug, and he had to stay there all night because he couldn't climb out on his own. However, despite all these little accidents, Mr. Bump enjoyed his vacation, and while he was there, he had a splendid idea about what sort of job he should do. Let's find out. It was quite the best idea Mr. Bump had ever had, an absolutely splendid idea. And now Mr. Bump works happily for Mr. Barley the farmer. Mr. Barley has a rather large apple orchard on his farm, and that's where Mr. Bump works. Mr. Bump's job is picking apples, but he doesn't use a ladder to climb up the tree to pick the apples like other apple pickers. Oh no, Mr. Bump has a much better way of picking apples than that. He just walks around, and before long, Mr. Bump, being Mr. Bump, walks into another tree, bump, and down falls an apple, and Mr. Bump catches it. This makes the job of apple picking much easier, and Mr. Bump is very pleased about his new job, and Mr. Barley is very pleased about his new apple picker. So you see, the story of Mr. Bump isn't such a sad story after all. And if you ever bump yourself, you know what to do, don't you? Go and eat an apple picked by Mr. Bump, and then you won't feel your bump at all. You'll remember that the next time you have a bump, won't you? Good. So, things worked out really well for Mr. Bump, and I'm really happy to hear that. So with that, I felt really sad at the beginning of the story for Mr. Bump, but at the end, I felt really happy that he found something that he could do and be okay with his bumping into things. And I guess that's a really good story in life. Whatever you have that doesn't quite work for you, find a way to make it work for you. That would be my advice. Okay, so with that, let's do our deep breathing exercise. Inhale deeply for 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's hold the breath for And now exhale out for 8. Good job. Is your body feeling more relaxed? I'm hoping so. Well, let's hope that these jokes also help your body to feel more relaxed. Here's the first one. Knock, knock. Who's there? Tuba. Tuba who? Tuba toothpaste. Oh, a tube of toothpaste? But tuba? Oh, that's great. Okay. Ready? Here's the second knock, knock joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Usher. Usher who? Usher wish you would come to my birthday party. Oh, I sure would wish you come to my birthday party. Okay. And here's a third one. Knock, knock. Who's there? Veal. Veal who? Veal always love you. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so good. Get it? Veal? For we'll always love you? Okay. Well, with that, this is a great place to say that it's been wonderful spending time with you, and I'm hoping that you enjoyed the story of Mr. Bump and the deep breathing exercises and the jokes. It's been wonderful spending time with you, and if you've enjoyed our time together, click on the subscribe button or on the bell notification so you can get notified when new stories come up. Well, it's been wonderful spending time with you, and until next time, bye!